11:08, are we ready to get started? All right, so I'm going to call to order the Election Commission meeting for Wednesday, April 16th. We can start with roll call. Luann?
Okay. Philip Martin.
Aye.
Ernest Demon.
Yeah.
Letitia Willett.
Here.
I'd like to add something to the agenda if possible. You guys,
Wait. Yeah,
oh, you didn't finish it?
no.
Yourself and Jackie?
Oh. Luann Doherty, myself, and Jackie Minton.
Here.
I didn't think I was supposed to call you, but. Sorry.
So can we do the invocation? You want to do the invocation, Ernie?
Yeah, but I'd like to add something to the agenda, if it's okay. No, we're supposed to add it now.
Yeah, you should add it before you do invocation and accept the agenda. If anyone has a motion to
Okay.
add something, it should be done after roll call. So if you have
Okay,
something
so
to add-
you would like to amend the agenda, Phil?
Yes.
All right.
If that's all right with everybody?
Yeah, tell them what you want to add.
Do I call for the vote before or after?
Well,
He has to tell you what he wants.
Yeah, what do you want to put on?
so it's a motion to add something, but you need to say.
Yeah, we need a second.
You need to say what you're gonna add.
I need a vote on if we're gonna have the commissioners accept money from our last meeting. You weren't here, so I didn't want to do that. I wanted to make sure the boss was here. So I'd like to have that on a floor vote now and put it in minutes.
So, okay, you would like a vote for what?
On the acceptance of cultural money by commissioners.
Isn't that what's covered with,
I know, but we never voted on it as a commission.
And don't forget to use your microphones, everyone, just because, so we can pick
Well,
up on the
we're
record,
online,
so we
okay,
can pick it up on the
sorry.
recording and everything.
Okay.
So, I don't want to speak for Phil, but it sounds like, I want the record clear, it sounds like there's a motion to add to the agenda a discussion and possible vote on what was discussed last month about whether commissioners, sitting commission members can or should accept cultural enhancement funds. So that's the motion, and if there's a second, then you can vote to add it to the agenda.
I'll second.
okay.
Okay.
You made a motion.
Yes.
Now, is there like, do you have a,
You can do, you can do a roll call vote, or you can just say, is there no objection?
Okay, they're discussing something there.
I don't know how you want to address that with this vote, because it should be clear.
Well, we'll discuss it if they add it to the agenda.
You know, do something
I would do a roll call vote.
To add it to the.
Is that what you,
Yeah.
okay, to add,
Good.
we'll do a
Yep.
roll call vote to
Yep.
add it. Okay, you
Yep.
gotta say the
we're
name.
just to add it?
Yeah.
Add it to the agenda.
Okay.
For today.
Do I call Phil, even though he's the one that, okay, Philip Martin,
Aye.
Ernest Demon,
Aye.
Luann Doherty? No. Letitia Willett,
Yeah.
Jackie Minton, do I have to ask?
I don't know.
Okay.
All right, motion carries 3-1.
Why didn't she get a vote?
So we'll add that after a closed session?
Oh, okay, I got you.
That's, okay.
Chair only votes if it's-
Yes, yep.
All right, are we ready to do invocation? Now, miigwech.
Vision do daga. Vision the motion nangwa. Not a motion nung kino. Where wouldn't je? Kanawam diang. Meanwhile, where wouldn't Kanodiang? And so gizzy God. Megwitch, 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 megwitch.
Now, miigwech, Journey.
You don't have
Yep, thank you. No, there's too many evil spirits in here.
Go ahead.
All right, so let's do approval of minutes. Everyone read through their minutes.
Do I have to?
I motion to approve the minutes from January 15th, 2025.
Second?
Minutes.
319?
Yeah, take the vote, Jackie.
Oh, okay, motion to approve.
Aye.
Aye.
Hey,
Aye.
Motion carried. Everyone voted unanimously. Okay, what about minutes from 319?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from March 19th.
I second that.
Motion by Ernie, second by Letitia. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye, sorry.
Opposed? Carried. All right, reaffirm email, phone votes for the record. We don't have anything like that, so we can bypass that. Proposed Chapter 10 revisions review.
So
Oh,
So we've been keeping this on the agenda for every agenda, right? Because we're trying to get through our revisions of Chapter 10. I don't know what the commission wants to do today, if we want to. So we've gone through an initial red line. You have a copy of some of my legal department red line to propose changes. It's probably only a third of the way through Chapter 10. And we also, part of the revision is getting membership input, so maybe we can, if the commission wants to do it this way, maybe today we can, first order of business for this would maybe figure out if we can nail down some dates to try to get membership input sessions. We did talk about it with the board again, and Jackie and I were up there, and we did mention that that is still on the table, but we haven't been able to figure out dates to be nailed down. Sounds like we do have the equipment now. We have a laptop for the commission, a commission laptop and printer. And so we should be able to, even if staff can't assist, right, we should be able to get you guys set up where you can figure out what works best for the commission schedules to set up some upcoming membership input sessions. So we don't have to nail them all down, but we can get a couple nailed down and then go from there, right? So you guys will have to remind me what dates might have been thrown out in the past, because my memory is not good today and I can't recall. So, but maybe we can look at all of our calendars.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How do we go about doing that? Do we have to put it out in the newspaper or something, so?
We would have to, it would be like your regular meetings. We would notice it through the website, Facebook. We could, if we get it set up in time, get it in the newspaper as well.
Okay.
To be notified. What we did in 2023, goodness gracious, 2023 is we set up, it was just in Unit 1, but we set up right here in Whitefish Point a membership input session. We put on the Zoom and on the big screen the current red lines, and people could, similar to the board meetings, they were allowed to speak for 5 minutes. They could, submit to, I want to talk for 5 minutes on this section of the code. These are my comments. And they were also, if they were on Zoom, they could also type anything they wanted in the chat as far as comments, and we kept a record of that. And then they also could email, the elections email feedback either during the meeting or prior. And we also had it posted online when we did the notice. We had the red lines posted online for people to read through before the meeting. So I would think we could just follow a very similar format.
So we should give them at least, a couple weeks, so we can get the information out to them?
The next deadline for the paper is May 2nd.
May 2nd is the next deadline for the paper, okay. Yeah, I would say at least a few weeks' notice. And if we can nail down a couple dates today, we can notice both dates. Like, here's, session 1's going to be in Unit 1 at Kewadin on this date. And then, this is just hypothetical, right? Maybe session 2 is going to be in Unit 3 at this place, at this date.
Okay.
We can start to try to figure that out today. We had talked about trying to do, it really depends on the commission's availability and whether they can do this. Staff won't be able to travel with you, but with that laptop, we can get you set up, or you could do it, you could try and do one each unit. I know we had discussed that
Oh, I see.
before.
You're talking about going to each unit.
Well, the commission brought that up.
Yeah.
You guys brought that up.
Okay.
So we can maybe nail down at least a couple dates today, so we can start soliciting membership input.
I think that we should work at getting each unit a calendar date, so that way everybody knows when the election commission will be there, and so that they can plan on it. I think we should have it done at least 3 weeks ahead of time. And so that maybe people in Unit 4, if we don't plan it, and just say, oh, we're going to Unit 1, 2, 3, but we'll tell Unit 4, no, I think it should all go out as a blanket, so that everybody knows.
Of course.
This is exactly when we're doing it.
All right. So Unit 1, well, I'm sorry, I'm taking your job.
I just had a quick question. Yesterday, when we were going through Chapter 10, we didn't get all the way through it, correct?
Correct.
Okay, does anybody know where our stopping point was? So I can put it in the minutes. And there was some constitutional issues that Mike brought up.
Lou, we stopped at 1013, page 1013.
Okay, what do we do about those?
So there was I think he flagged two.
I think there was 3.
You remember what they were, Lou? So one of them was the June election date. Mike and I talked afterwards, and that is not a constitutional issue. That date, if we want to propose changing it, can be changed. It's been June because we had our initial election for our board members after we adopted our constitution was like June 18th. And then it just kind of stuck. But that's not set in stone in the Constitution, so that was one of them. So I'm not worried about that one. If we want to propose changing it, there is leeway there. We don't have to change it, but we can talk about it. You guys remind me what the other two were.
Yeah, there was this 63-day less than or no more than, however you said it.
Oh, yeah, for the voter registration,
Yeah.
no less than 3 months.
I have no idea, I just.
Yeah, we
that's all I
have,
remember.
so that, I have to pull up the Constitution. So that was flagged as, there is a minimum timeline that we have to accept voter registrations, that we couldn't cut off people voting
Article
before
5
then.
in the Constitution, requirement not to move timelines. So that's what he had talked about with that.
Thank you, Jackie. Article 5, yeah.
I didn't catch a section because he was talking too fast.
Yeah, I couldn't hear him very good, so. He seems to know it backwards and forwards.
He was, yeah, he was.
It's just the registration factor, so if we move the date of the election, that moves that.
Yeah, section 5 is voters residing outside of any unit shall register not less than 3 months prior to any election and vote in the unit of their choice. So we have automatic voter registration now. So everyone is registered. If they're going to turn 18 on that third Thursday in June, that's the cutoff date. If they're going to be 18 by that date of the general election, they are registered to vote in our elections now. Outside,
And
yeah.
they're all registered in Unit 1 to vote, or they're?
No. So if they live in a unit, they're registered in that unit. If they live outside of a unit, they're just registered for a referendum and a chairman race. So if they want to vote, like next year, if they want to vote, because we don't have a chairman race, they are going to have to, before that 3 months prior to the election date, they're going to have to declare a unit. That's the piece that we can't, that's the piece in the Constitution that we can't mess with. We have to allow outside service area, outside election unit members up until that 3 months prior to June to declare a unit.
But if we move the date of the election, that moves that date.
Correct, but if we move the date of the election, it would move that date. But that date, yes, exactly.
Not like a set date, like it has to, so it's just a time frame so we can move it.
And that's where I think I've been hearing a lot of talk about that whole thing, and that is something that I would expect to hear a lot of membership input on.
About having to declare or just the automatic
Just automatically getting thrown in for
for a vote, yeah.
for any, for the chairman's race
We need to
and for special.
advertise in the paper or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what, I mean, if it's May 2nd is the next deadline, well, then that gives us, well, we could do it today. Can we not put it together today and have it to them so that, it would be able to start in late May or at the beginning of June.
They assume they're registered and where they're registered.
Well, no, what I'm talking about is we will do the membership input meetings beginning in June or I think towards the end. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry, Jackie, I was kind of with Lou, like, what?
I know, it was right over my
I
head.
lost
yeah.
it somewhere
Yeah.
there.
So in June, you want it?
Well,
Starting
I
in
mean-
June?
I mean, what do you guys think? Because we'll be able to put the word out May 2nd in the newspaper. Then it will also go on the website, but that will give them a month. And maybe we could do a reminder 2 weeks out on the website. This is what, you remember 2 weeks, and just do a 2-week reminder and then a 1-week reminder to remind everybody that it's coming up. And also at that time, we would be able to have the red line out for them to download. And, I mean, how else are we gonna go? I mean, if they ask for a packet, to one be sent to them, I don't know.
I don't think we're gonna have to get that far. We have to let them know where they can at least see it.
Yeah.
So they can look at it, even look at it online, or if they want, they can print it out, but just to look at it online so they can follow us.
We might be
Yeah,
able,
because during the input sessions, it will be up on screen.
it will be on screen, and we could have some hard copies, like if people come
Oh,
in
yeah.
person to those sessions, we could have like, maybe not one for everyone, depending on how many people are there, but we could have several hard copies available too that they can look at, as well as we'll
See how many
project it on the
pages
screen
thing is.
wherever available. I don't know what facilities are available in the outline in the other units, so we'd have to, if you nail down dates, Lana will help figure out the availability to confirm that those availability for
the different
for the different facilities, as well as like what capabilities we'll have at each one. We might not always, we saw last night that Manistee,
Yeah.
the technology maybe not as good here for projecting things as we have here in the Whitefish Point room. So we'll have to modify depending on where you guys are in your session, how easily we could post it on a wall, or if we have to print more hard copies that day for those people that are going to be in person. So
I know Unit 5,
they don't have the capabilities of that.
Yeah.
It won't happen there.
Munising.
Munising does.
Oh, they have the Zoom
Munising
and
con-
everything?
Yeah.
Munising every year, yeah.
Munising,
But I thought you guys brought your own stuff over there so you could Zoom.
We only bring the owls to the outlying areas because that's how people on Zoom can hear.
Okay.
Which Ashley and I were talking, you guys are probably gonna need an owl for the laptop to make Zoom work, so.
Okay.
We'll,
This is an owl?
no, that's a microphone.
No,
Owl looks like an owl.
Yeah.
it's
About
that
this
white.
big.
It's like a,
Do you see those white boxes?
Okay.
Like they're like those white cylinders
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah, I
And
saw
It
those.
looks like eyes of an owl. That's the owl, and it picks up.
Every
it
time
picks
somebody
up-
speaks or
it
looks.
picks up the.
it,
Can we
like,
borrow one from you guys?
or we'll just buy one for the commission, it's not that expensive.
Okay.
We'll be able to get one that can be used with the laptop
Okay.
for the Zoom meeting. That shouldn't be an issue.
All right, good.
so, okay, so we would, like Schmitz has to go to Hessel, St. Ignace, Manistee, Munising, Sault Ste. Marie.
So, speaking of Unit 2, we got, don't forget the western part of it, like Newberry.
That's like, okay, what about Newberry, Escanaba, Marquette?
No offense to Unit 4 and 5, but, I mean,
It's up to us.
Munising and Marquette aren't that far apart, neither is, but if you compare Newberry to Hessel, that is pretty far apart. That's the only way I'm thinking about,
Yeah, it's an hour.
yeah.
Why don't we schedule these meetings on the same day as the scheduled meal, just earlier in the day? You've already got members that are planning on going to the meals.
Maybe at 1 o'clock?
In the evening. We have it earlier in the day, and then Jackie can get back home when she doesn't have to stay for the meal.
Manistee is at noon.
Yeah, what I'm thinking, like, because lots
He's
of
thinking,
time.
he's thinking Escanaba Marquette,
Okay.
correct, Ernie?
Yeah.
Marquette?
Well.
Because they do evening meals, sorry.
Oh, you do evening meals?
We
Because they only do one during their elder meeting.
Well, then, hey.
Our meal starts at 4 in the afternoon.
I don't know what Market does.
That's a good idea.
6,
though,
isn't it?
Ernie.
I don't know anymore, but they used to
I
have
can
a,
tell you guys, I have all of the elder
Yeah.
stuff in my calendar.
Okay.
but Marquette does that,
Marquette, I think, is 5.
5 maybe now, maybe.
So we're talking, you said June, right? For the month of June?
Yes.
Ernie, yours is at
Let's determine if we
4?
want to go to Escanaba and Marquette, let's determine those two because they're kind of more set and then we'll kind of work the rest of them around it. Do you see what I'm saying?
I'd like to go to all of them, and if we have enough time to do it. That means we're gonna have to go probably two a week, maybe.
When
2
we have
places a week.
When we have the Unit 1 meeting, I mean, we would meet monthly right here.
Uh-huh.
We could schedule the citizen input, same time we have a regular meeting.
Yeah, you get more
The C one's
people.
not the issue, the outlying areas is, we can work that
Mm-hmm.
in anywhere.
Because then when we have our elder meeting, there's a lot more people.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, we're probably gonna have to push into July.
Oh, yeah.
Like, don't think we're all gonna get this all done in June.
No,
So your suggestions are that we have it either immediately after the elder meal or immediately before, or like a couple hours before the meal? Is that what I'm,
Well, we have an evening meal, so in our area, it should be before.
Yeah, probably.
That's
I'm
it.
guessing at least a couple hours.
That would allow the people that drive the furthest a chance to leave and get home.
yeah, because they want to get home. Yeah,
So for Unit 5, the elders meet on the same day for Munising and Marquette. One of them is at 11 o'clock in the morning, the other one's at 6 o'clock at night.
Oh,
So
okay. 6
I
o'clock,
don't know
wow.
if you want to do that.
Do them all in one day.
Well,
that's
are you
impossible.
gonna be in Munising, or you're gonna be in Marquette?
Well, we'd do both.
How are we
We
going to
could do both, on that one day.
It's not gonna, no.
No?
It's not gonna work. Somebody who's attending both, who has attended all those, as Ernie knows, for a year and a half, it's not gonna work. You gotta pick, I hate to say it, it's a lot of driving, I know, but you gotta pick Marquette, then a different day of Munising,
Okay, all right.
and this is just trying to encapsulate everybody, but even Munising and probably Manistee might be outside of the meal program, might be just a community. But they already have the rooms for this, they already have a built-in audience that you can already bring people in. And I think that's where Ernie's trying to, because there's already a room reserved for that stuff that day. So we're kind of trying to piggyback on that.
So basically asking them to add this item to their agenda, so you can come in and talk to them, but you're gonna invite other members in, or are you still talking before or after?
Because you still have to be on Zoom and everything for everybody
Wednesday
outside.
always.
Escanaba does not have Zoom capability.
I don't believe we have it at Marquette either, at this
But-
point, until
At
the
this
building's
point, no,
finished over
Marquette
there.
doesn't have it.
But if we have
Marquette Meal.
in-person meetings out there, and we have the Sioux and maybe St. Ignace and Manistee and Munising that does have all that capability, do we really need to have those in those other few places that doesn't? I think we're covering all our bases on that.
Right, you could do those, those two could be in-person only, but knowing that we have 3 other ones that are in-person and online, so you're gonna be able to capture, hopefully, in those 5 meetings.
Yeah.
That you're gonna be able to capture everyone who's interested in attending one of those meetings, right?
Yep, all right.
And we're still gonna post, we're
Oh, I
gonna
forgot
figure out how to do some kind of Survey Monkey thing. We're gonna post to the website the red lines, and we can have electronic submission of comments, so you can have those coming in on a rolling basis for however many months the survey is live. So you'll have, you're gonna get multiple avenues to get feedback, and then take all that feedback, just like we do with the board in 23, and you print it out and you summarize it, and I had a whole summary sheet of all of the input from in-person and
Yeah.
and electronic, and
That'd
that'll
be
that'll
nice,
help
so we
guide,
can go over it later.
that will guide your discussions, yeah.
Okay.
With Unit 1, one thing to consider, Kinross has a large population of tribal members out there. Do you want to do one in the Sioux and one in Kinross? Just so I have all of them listed here, so then as you
Where's
make your
Kinross
decision on
at?
that, I can tell you when all the elder meetings and what time for all of these areas. Kinross doesn't have
I don't
that,
think
but-
there'll be a lot of interest by the members in going over this election code. It's kind of dry. You know, we
No.
should at least put feelers out and see if there is an interest in doing this.
Most people, I mean, we're brand new, and it took us how long to even understand what the hell you guys are talking about?
Does Kinross have Zoom capability?
Yeah, what are the, we would have to go through housing, because I don't think, I know that the rec center is not. But, you know, that, and that's just, is that something that we would do in Kinross? Or would it be something we would approach Rudyard schools? I mean, they have the capability to do it, but that's a big drive from Kinross to Rudyard.
I didn't know the rec center wasn't available anymore. That's where the.
Oh, no, it's
to me-
available. They just don't have, I don't think they have,
If you have internet, they have Zoom capability technically.
But if you do Zoom for Unit 1 Sioux, just like the outlying areas, then maybe just do in person in Kinross.
I think that would be, yeah. If we could do Zoom in Kinross, do Zoom in Kinross. Let's see if we can do it or not. But otherwise, yeah, I definitely think we should go to
Yeah,
Kinross.
we just bring everything with us.
Because they are almost forgotten.
Them in Newberry.
To vote on that, to add the locations, and then we can go through or I don't know how you guys want to do that. Just decide.
So, okay,
Hang
so
on.
that was gonna be 9 sessions.
Yeah.
Do you, okay, I'm just wondering, well, we won't need 9 sessions to get through the whole document, but at least there will be input from every single area, which is what we want.
Yeah, we're not gonna go through the whole document while we're at each area. They should have already looked at it, you know, because we're sending all this stuff out. Otherwise, we'll be there a long time, trying to explain every bit of this.
It might be a mix. So when we did the session, do you remember how long we were at that one session? I went through all the board red lines. So there might be some meetings where you have to do more of like guiding the
Yeah.
members through the red lines, or there might be some where they have a bunch of feedback for you guys, and you can open it up by just asking if they've read it and what feedback they have, and let that guide your discussion. It's gonna probably be a little bit of both, right? A discussion, depending on how much interest. We might get more interest, in the summer as we're getting a little bit closer to 26, and we know that an election's coming up, more people might be interested. Maybe the first couple of sessions, it's a little slow rolling, because it's not quite on everyone's mind yet that election is, coming next year, so. Yeah, it's all gonna be kind of fluid, depending on who's all there, and
So if, the sessions are June and July, might want to think of getting on the board agenda right away as soon as it's finished, so that action can be taken. Otherwise, there won't be any action taken before the next election.
And I think you can I don't think there's any harm in doing kind of things in tandem, so to speak. So yesterday, we went through a chunk of the code with the board. They had some feedback. You can schedule a meeting again soon with the board to continue to go through Chapter 10, while at the same time getting membership feedback. You can do both at the same time, so you're gathering feedback from all angles, and then that will guide how you want to propose your red lines. There's no harm in doing it both ways, and then you'll have all that feedback from the government, from the membership, from yourselves, and then you propose your changes as you see fit based on all the feedback. That way, to your point, Jackie, it doesn't like slow down the process, right? You're kind of doing everything in tandem with each other, and that'll be
You guys.
a lot of me helping you sift through the comments and giving you my version of, I think based on all these comments, here's maybe an appropriate way to word it, and then you would give me feedback and we'd tweak it that way. And it'd be just like an ongoing, real-time conversation through the next few months, right?
Does the board have to approve this?
Yeah.
Well, no, it seemed to me, they were asking us questions.
Nobody
but
in the tribe can approve tribal law except for the board of directors. The board will end up approving whatever the final version is.
Because
Yeah, so ultimately the board, because it's a code change, they're gonna have to enact it.
Yep.
Okay.
I didn't get positive out of that. They asked questions because they,
Yes, they
Yeah.
asked questions, but they said,
They didn't
well,
give us
okay,
any
whatever you
answers.
guys want. So no matter what we
I
do,
think-
they're going to approve it then, I assume.
I think we got some good feedback from, I was making notes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there wasn't a consensus at the board, but there was enough chatter where I got a pretty good feeling of where some of the board members' heads are at. I think it was somewhat productive yesterday.
Okay.
With what you said, Jackie, about going back to finish it with the board, so you probably, I think you said you wanted to do that before you start the community meetings? And if, no? Oh, okay.
No, after the community meetings.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
was-
so that
oh,
way,
okay.
when the commission goes in front of the board, they'll be able to say, this is exactly what came from the membership, and so that then, they know exactly what membership said, so they can base their voice on what the membership said.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay.
So.
I was looking at the end of May for you guys,
Yeah.
again, if you wanted to, but if you want to do it after, then it would be.
Well, someone did, come to me and said, why didn't you guys come here after the membership? I mean, I hear both sides, Maybe, it's nice for the membership to hear what the board thinks, Well, now, we're kind of in a time crunch here, because, things have to get done. So, however it can be done so that it works.
Lana, can you give me the date for the Escanaba, the June date and the July date for the Escanaba meal, and then the Marquette meal, July and August, or July and June?
So Escanaba. You say Marquette and Munising too?
Just the, yeah, well, yeah,
They're both on
And same
June
day.
5th.
okay,
Munising is at 11 a.m.
yep.
Marquette is at 6 p.m.
Where do they meet still?
Munising is the Munising Tribal Center. Marquette is the Holiday Inn.
Okay.
And then Escanaba.
They have decent Wi-Fi, by the way. They have decent Wi-Fi.
And then June 11th is the Unit 4 Escanaba meeting, and that's at 4 PM.
Okay.
And I gotta open it to
6:11?
Escanaba Community Center. I've never been in there, so I could not tell you, other than what the gentleman said last night at the meeting, that it's a beautiful facility, really great. Sound is terrible. It's
Yeah,
like being in
sound-
the sprung structure at the shores.
It echoes really
So-
bad.
Is there space at Gladstone?
I have no idea. Never been there. No idea. Well, do you guys know technology?
What's,
I don't even know.
There we go. I've been out to the Escanaba Community Center. I can agree with everything that's been said. It's quite echoey, but it does have, we installed the APs, I want to say, like over a year ago now. So that's all functioning. If you guys want to do Zoom out there, it'll work. So.
Is there a network connection there for, like, if we have a meeting
Oh,
there?
you mean for line in?
Yes.
We'd need to do a site survey to confirm wherever you're going to set up, but yeah, most likely.
I'm gonna guess that that's gonna be necessary, because at some point the board's gonna have a meeting in that building, I'm assuming.
I'm betting we probably already did some preliminary there, but it just never got rubber stamped. So one way or the other, somebody can go out there and make a check.
If somebody could check and let us know, then we can let the commission know if Escanaba's doable, even the facility itself, because you can do something. We
The
used to
audio's
meet at
gonna be-
Not College over there, every board meeting we had, so
I
that
know when
might
they-
be an option.
when they built our community center, it was supposed to be set up with everything you needed for it.
Okay.
Yep, okay, so,
So, okay. So, and then June 5th.
I assume we're all in agreement that we're gonna go to every unit, right?
That's what we talked about last night, and that was the intention
Okay,
from the get-go.
all right. Got that.
So here's what I have tentatively on dates and places. I was just doing, so June 5th, we go to Marquette. See if we can ask them to meet a little bit early. June 11th, we can go to Escanaba. The 18th is our election commission meeting, which we could push later in the day and then have a community open session after that. 25th, the Kinross. July 1st is basically all Wednesdays, just trying, except for the Escanaba and Marquette. Then we can do one in Hessel on June 1st. And if it's running into powwow and anybody else knows these dates, let me know. I'm just throwing these, I'm kind of just throwing spaghetti at the wall right now. The 9th is St. Agnes, 16th in Newbury, 23rd is our actual meeting, sorry. So that could be pushed to like the 24th, which is a Thursday at Munising, and then in Manistee on the 30th. Again, I am just throwing spaghetti at the wall, trying to,
So did you have Newberry in there?
yep.
Yep.
What was the date on that?
So,
16th,
July 16th.
or July.
I see it. I'm glad you asked. I had June.
So we got,
So Hessel is July 1st, St. Agnes is the 9th of July. I think I just said, in the 16th in Newbury
Of July?
of July. On the 24th in Munising, because our meeting's the 23rd, or we hold our meeting on the 23rd in Munising. That's not a problem either. And then the 30th. I just picked Wednesdays because it seemed like we're already here on Wednesdays. And just except for, like I said, except for June 5th and then the 11th.
Okay, so July 16th, that is the third Monday,
that's Newberry.
That's third Wednesday.
third Wednesday.
But we decided to change that to the 23rd because the board was out of town. That,
Okay, that's it.
Tuesday.
Okay.
So we have
So-
8 altogether, right?
huh?
8 altogether.
I have 9.
Let me see what it is.
Yeah, he went really fast, too.
I got 8,
That's all right.
I got 9, but I don't know.
but you counted the Sioux probably.
Yeah.
What date was Newberry?
Okay, so
Say it again.
June 5th, sorry,
Yeah.
June 5th would be Marquette.
June 5th.
Okay,
We'll set times and places later, I'm just,
yeah.
because that is their elder meal. June 11th in Escanaba. June 18th, the Sioux, because that's our regular scheduled meeting and we can push it later in the day and kind of just fold our meeting into that. Just a thought. I said the 25th in Kinchelo for June.
Kinross?
Kinchelo's, Kinross,
What was it again?
6:25.
Thank you.
June.
July 1st in Hessel. July 19th,
Oh, that's July, okay.
July 1st is a Tuesday, and we are with
second. I'm sorry, second.
second, okay.
I can't write dates down. Thank you, Alana.
Not familiar. Board meeting day.
In Hessel, July 9th in St. Ignace, July 16th.
Hold
in-
on, hold on.
Wait, St. Ignace, July.
July, St. Ignace is what?
July 9th.
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 Okay.
July 16th, Newberry. So our regular scheduled election meeting's on the 23rd. We can, I mean, I'm not opposed to moving it and then wrapping that into Munising, or do it the next day or sometime that week.
Okay.
So,
Okay, I'm going to say July 20, instead of July 1st in Hessel, July 21st would be their elders' meeting and meal. That's when they have their elders' meeting and meal, is July 21st
For Hessel?
for Hessel.
I mean, I don't, it's up to you guys. I'm just,
Well, I'm just, because that's when we're going to get the most people there.
I agree.
that's fine. I'm just, like I said, I'm just throwing spaghetti at the
Yeah,
wall.
that's, okay.
And we can make the Munising
Going
the
with
first,
second or the 21st?
or the second, I'm sorry.
Second.
For what?
For Hessel.
Hessel,
What are we doing?
I think we should go, well, if you want to get the most people there, July 21st would be the day, because that is their regular meeting day, and they're all there for lunch that day.
I agree.
Okay.
Okay. Now, hold on. You said you had 9. You got one for Munising, right?
So then we'll make Munising July 2nd?
I got 9. Okay, change in Munising, we got,
July 2nd?
is that what? I have the 23rd.
Right. But if we want to do like one every week, that's what I'm thinking, so it's not so overwhelming. Because we want to do Hustle the week of the 21st, so we'll push Munising to the 2nd. That way we're still doing one a week.
Okay.
You're pushing Munising to July 2nd?
Yeah.
Yes.
You got Gladstone in there?
No, it's
Oh, they have to come
Escanaba.
to Escanaba.
Yeah, I got Esky, but I only got 8.
I got 9.
Sioux, Kinross, Newberry, Hessel, St. Agnes, Escanaba, Munising,
Munistic on the
Marquette.
30th,
Manistee.
On the 30th of what?
July,
Okay.
July 30th?
July or June for Manistee?
July.
July 30th.
Okay, what, we.
Just check me if it's a
somehow or another
Wednesday.
We got our,
Huh?
I have June and July, okay.
Boy, you speak real fast.
Yes, I do, sorry.
Your hand moves faster than you speak.
Yes, it does. And I have no poker face.
Yeah, because I had June on.
June and July, huh? Okay. All right, all right.
Who's the chair of the Marquette Elders? Is that still, is
That is,
that Boyd
Boyd,
still?
yeah.
Okay. Ernie, who's yours?
Brenda Kennard.
Okay.
I can tell you that too. I
Have
got
to,
all the committee stuff.
have to think we just changed.
She was there yesterday.
June, so we don't have June. June 5th to be our first one, okay. Excuse me.
That's the first, yeah.
Munising is July 2nd.
Oh my God, you guys.
Now, the elder meal in Munising is gonna be on the 3rd instead of the 2nd. You wanna do it on the 3rd or leave it on the 2nd?
That's fine, we can move it to the 3rd.
Everybody? Can we move it to the 3rd?
Are you gonna have one then?
Yeah, we'll just have it,
July and everything?
I'm hoping, because we have ours at 11 o'clock. That means either we get up early as
I would
crap
do
to
that,
get
I would do
over
that
there.
one over. I would do that one after. They'll stick around.
After? All right,
So we'll do in July 3rd in Munising.
yes.
You guys might want to rethink that.
Oh, wait. Back up.
Why?
That's Sioux Powwow, isn't it, Jackie?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we are pushing that. I forgot about the 4th. Yeah, damn it. Well, we'll have to leave it on the 2nd and do the best we can with it.
Yeah, let's leave it on the 2nd.
All right.
That's Munising. The 9th of July is St. Agnes. I'm just repeating this. The 21st is Hessel of July. And Manistee for the 30th of July.
That's not Manistique's meal, though.
It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to coincide. It's a community meeting. It's just because because Escanaba and Marquette don't have a lot of community space, wrapping it in to some place that's already being used by the tribe is actually a better idea.
July.
Well, you won't get the people, though, but we'll see.
So we're leaving Munising on the 2nd?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any get-togethers or anything for the 4th? I'm wondering, can we push this after the 4th for Munising? We don't have nothing the second week.
We have St. Agnes.
The second week?
Uh-huh.
That's
July 9th?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. All right. So the 3rd, or the 2nd.
Again, if you guys want to change this or you have something,
Yep.
go ahead. I was trying to get something down so we had something to look at.
Nope, that's good. That far out, I don't have no appointments.
Just so the commission is aware, I will try to be in attendance with you at a number of these, but I will not probably always be able to. I'll be knee-deep in a bunch of federal court briefings during that time frame, so I'll try to be available to all of them, but some of them, you don't need me at all of them. It's getting feedback. I won't be able to attend every single one with you all.
I'm, might not be at some of these, too. I'm gonna go across to Washington.
And it's not the same as you need a quorum to take comments. Like even if one of you is there and no one else can make it, that's enough to like take the comments from the membership, so.
Okay.
Somebody needs to.
You're
run
gonna
through
show
the
us-
dates again.
We'll have to get a time with you to show us how to use a computer, how to record everything that people are saying and everything then, right?
Yeah, we'll make sure that we'll get you
Yeah.
hooked up with how to work Zoom and all
Okay.
the tech stuff,
we
yeah.
need-
All right.
Can we run through the dates? If you've finalized, I'm sorry, I don't want to rush you.
No.
One more time, please, sorry.
I don't know why we're all troubled with these dates, but, you know, it seems to
Go ahead. You brought them up.
So maybe start with, go by unit.
Okay.
And location.
Okay.
So maybe you guys can agree to them as you go through each unit, or pick a different date.
calendar here. Hold on.
Yeah, write this down now, kids.
I just need to know so I can make sure you have facilities available, so.
Yeah. Okay. So we have Unit 1, June 18th, which is our meeting day in the Sioux. To what time would we want to schedule that? Because if we're going to go slow and kind of do this, let's do this all in one fell swoop. Do you want to push our meeting back?
What time is their meeting?
Our meeting is at 11. It's the same day as our meeting, election commission meeting.
And they're eating their meal now.
So maybe at 1 o'clock? I mean, they eat their meal at what, 11:30? So they would have till 12:30, then come over here? So 1 o'clock, how does that sound?
we will have to go longer with the meeting.
Yeah,
Is that
like-
all right with everybody?
We can move our meeting later.
Yeah, like, that, what, we could just move the meeting, you could, like, so that then the election commission would start at 1 o'clock instead of at 11 o'clock that day.
Okay, these guys will have to do
We'll
that.
take an official vote, just so you know,
Yes.
because you approved your calendar for the year.
Yep.
Well, no, wait, it's just changing the time, hey?
Yeah.
It's the same day,
Same
just
day.
changing time?
Yes.
I don't think they can just agree by consensus.
Okay.
So start the meeting at 1.
1 o'clock
We'll make sure we notice that
Here.
out as well.
Yes.
You guys all agree to
at the
it.
Sioux.
Okay.
So it's gonna be meeting/community input that day.
Yes.
Okay,
It,
1
no
o'clock.
extra, no extra room rental.
right.
Okay. So continuing Unit 1, June 25th, Kinchlow, Kinross, assuming it's the rec center.
Okay.
Do you want that one during the day at 5 o'clock?
We'll have to check and make sure all these things are open too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Lana said she's gonna
Okay.
do that for us.
But I think if there was a time set, it would be easier to,
Yeah, that's what so I'm asking, do we want it in the afternoon, even at 5 o'clock?
When's our best to get people?
Kinch will probably be 6.
Yeah, because everybody's
They're
working.
Working.
Yeah.
Okay, that's,
And
6 o'clock?
not Kinchlow, Kinross.
Kinross.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
it's the same
It's the
thing.
same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
6 o'clock, everybody, is that all right?
I'll just bring my motor home. Spend the night.
I was gonna say, make it big, I hope it's big enough for all of us.
Oh, yeah. They have a big gym.
Oh, yeah.
No, her motor home.
I got an extra trailer.
I can bring my 2 dogs.
Yeah, you
Okay,
can put it
go
in the
ahead.
trailer.
Hang
All
on.
right, let's keep going.
Now Unit 2.
Okay.
So we have Hessel on the July 21st,
Yeah,
1 o'clock.
that's you.
and we're wrapping that in with the elder meeting, which starts at noon, Jackie?
Yeah, so 1
Lana?
o'clock would be, yeah.
So I would say probably schedule us at 1:30, give them an hour to meet.
1:30?
Well, they start at like 12:30. Well, I don't, no,
Hessel.
you know what, yeah.
1:30?
I think 1 o'clock would work.
Okay, we can
Yeah.
schedule, I'm just.
That way, they'll stay.
Got ya.
1
Got ya,
o'clock?
that's what I was asking you.
If you do too long, they'll go home.
Oh, I know. Ask Gurney, I know. Newberry, July 16th.
And
Do they have a lunch or anything?
No, the elder meeting is on Fridays,
Yep, and they meet at Zellers
and yes.
yeah.
And that's hard to take up that whole space. That's why I just kind of didn't, because they meet at Zellers. So,
Well,
ahead.
some of these are gonna be in person, some via Zoom. I'm gonna guess Kinross is gonna be in person only because you're not gonna wanna take a chance
Yep.
of dropping internet. I would assume Zellers does have a very nice meeting room. I went there for lunch recently and the Unit 2 elders were meeting back there.
Yep.
So it's a decent size. I don't know if you've ever been in it,
Yep,
Jackie?
yep.
Yeah. So do you want me to try for Zellers for that date and time, or do you want me to try for the Newberry Community Center?
I would prefer the community center just
The community center
because it's on the
Wi-Fi
reservation.
sucks.
I understand that, so we won't, we're only gonna probably have to be able to do, I didn't expect to use Zoom on Newberry at all. That was gonna be an in-person and it's on the reservation, that's why I was kind of thinking about doing that, so we would have those who don't travel and things like that. And
Okay.
a lot of those elders out there on that reservation make a lot of arrangements to go to their elder meetings and other places, and that's not gonna be that easy. So if they could just come over, I don't know.
So what
No.
time do you think?
Area's
I,
not real big, they only got
No.
like 18
Room.
chairs.
it's,
It's not that bad.
Well,
we take out the
go there-
tables, if you take out the tables, you can get enough chairs.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Did you pick a time?
No.
Newberry,
So what time are we thinking that one?
So they have their meeting at Zellers at what time?
I have no, it's on a Friday.
Yeah,
Oh, their meeting is not the same day
Yeah,
as
their
this one that
meeting's
you're talking
yeah,
about.
this is-
That's-
Okay.
I was just mentioning Zealot.
16th.
They do have a meeting. room
Let's
there.
try 1 o'clock. Hold on, we don't have a, when's our next meeting there, Ernie?
The 23rd on that week, that in July.
So our elder meeting?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I thought you meant this meeting.
No.
Sorry.
23rd?
I
Are we
hope
talking
people are
July
gonna
or-
come to these guys.
In July, yes.
In July. 18th.
18th? Okay, so that one's good. 1 o'clock?
What?
On the
1 o'clock?
For Newberry on the 16th?
Yeah.
That's fine.
But you- yeah.
And that's at the Newberry Center?
Yep.
Their due diligence.
Okay. Unit 3 is just going to be St. Agnes. Now that's where I'm going to question where we should have that.
Never been there.
Well, McCann,
Casino.
do they have?
Nick, did you guys, I know Andrew was working on getting the McCann School facility hooked up and wired for sound. Is it?
I don't believe it's done as of yet. I was actually following up on that ticket today.
Okay.
I know we have equipment ordered and configured, I think. It might just be a charter install at that point.
Okay, so you can do Zoom at the shores. You would probably need to use the microphones though, and that may be a bit much.
That's why I'm asking the question I'm asking.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it at McCann, but it would be no Zoom option potentially. If
Why
they
not just
get
do it at the
job
shores
done.
in the tent?
Do it at the shores in the tent,
Okay.
Everyone knows where it is.
right?
I don't.
That's where they're used to going. It's right connected to the casino.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's that big tent on the side of the casino there. It's not really a tent, but it's like a dome.
So we're changing it to the 10th then?
July 9th.
July 9th?
St. Ignace, July 9th.
Yeah.
In the tent.
Tent.
With,
Hang on.
with
Hang on
Colonel
a second.
Mustard. No.
With a lead pipe.
We got the casino shore schedule for events.
This is the shores.
I don't think anything's on the 9th, do you, in the tent?
Oh, gosh, I don't know. I'll have to double check on all of it anyway.
Yeah. So, okay, what time are you guys thinking?
If we can, 1 o'clock is good for me. I don't have to get up real early then.
I was thinking maybe like 4 on that one.
4?
Yeah.
All right.
I want to kind of mix them times up too, so we kind of get a cross section as much as possible.
Yep, 4 o'clock.
Okay. And that's the only one we're going to do in Unit 3. Right? Yeah. Okay, Unit 4,
That's Manistee. We got 1
Escanaba,
o'clock.
Manistee, hang on.
7:30, 25.
Okay, so that's 4 PM is their meeting, so you want to do it before, Ernie, you said, or after?
I'd do it before.
Okay.
If,
So you're
I'm
thinking
sure
maybe
that Jackie and
2?
everyone
2
else
o'clock?
wants, 2 o'clock would work fine.
June 11th?
Which date was that? I'm sorry.
June
June 11th.
11th.
June, okay, I was looking in July, sorry.
No, that's okay, Lana.
2 PM,
2 PM.
God, this is.
okay?
And that was at the community center, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we had it at 4, now we're changing it to.
No,
No,
their
I-
meeting's at 4.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna do it 2.
The community center.
Wow,
Yep.
this is complicated.
Ah,
Okay, so we got Manistee on July 30th,
1 o'clock.
and I'm assuming, I mean, they
But
do,
I don't know where we came up with July 30th because their meeting is the third Wednesday.
I think it was just kind of where we could plug them in.
we were talking about meetings just because, again, the Marquette and Escanaba already have the facilities already booked for their elder meetings, so if we do it in conjunction with that, we don't have to book it in separate.
You
Keep
don't
it-
have to book anything separate in Manistee, it's pretty much ours, the elders.
Right, but that's where we're going, that we're trying to get in conjunction with the elder meetings. This is, we could just have it after the meal, because you have meals on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
And if we announce enough, we'll get enough, I would say, who wants to stick around.
yeah, we'll have to mark it.
So we'll do 1 on that one.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say that.
That's your
Okay.
charge.
Okay, Unit 5, we have Marquette on June 5th. Their other meetings at the Holiday Inn Express at 6. So we can schedule something at 4.
You guys sure 2 hours is gonna be enough?
It's can be enough. I'm just kidding.
We're on June 5th, right?
Yes,
Yep.
Marquette.
I'm making it enough.
Marquette has that new community center. Now, it's not totally up and running, but they do have
Yeah,
drumming and stuff like that in the evening.
But they don't have none of the electronics or anything going in
No.
it
I
yet.
don't know what they have in there.
Marquette?
No.
Their community center, they have anything going in there yet?
Not to my knowledge. I haven't been informed of any readiness at the Marquette Community Center.
All right.
For network yet.
So you want me to try for the Holiday Inn?
Yes.
The elders are already booked there? Is that what
I mean, maybe we could reach out to Boyd and see if, because he has a great relationship with the Holiday Inn Express. I mean, he might even offer just to give us time during the actual meeting. I don't know what.
Ask him if he can get us some free rooms too. I mean, why not? We
Well,
spent,
you don't have that far to drive.
well, it's still nice to get out.
We'll go
So-
on
So
there.
the outlying
What are you
areas,
gonna do?
Jackie and Tish, like in the western units, if you guys schedule your meetings for later in the evening, I would think that it would be justified to get you a hotel room over there so you're not driving home in the middle of the night. So just to keep that in mind. Same with you guys, the 3 of you coming from the west end to this side for these meetings. If you're doing them later at night, we would get you a hotel room so you're not driving home in the middle of the night. So always keep in mind that rooms are an option if the meetings are scheduled, say, for 6 o'clock
Got it.
at night. So if they're scheduled for 4 and you get done by 6,
I got a
you never
dog,
drive
so I
home.
have to go.
And it's summertime, so.
Me and Ryan are partying.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Okay, so Marquette, see if we can get 4 o'clock at the Holiday Inn Express. And then Munising, July 2nd.
4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Man.
I hate to say it, but I would probably maybe push that one to an evening one too at 4.
At 4?
Then, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
when do they meet
One would be 11.
their meals?
For
Because they do 2, they do a meeting and then they do a separate meal, don't they?
Yes.
I don't know about their meals, but their meeting is July 3rd at 11 a.m. So
Let's see.
for Munising. Is that what we're on?
I think.
And that's
They haven't
for
changed that, so I'm assuming they're still
July
meeting.
2nd. right?
I have no problem coming with the 3rd. I don't know what Jackie's doing though. Hey, Jackie,
That's the.
No,
right
July
before the
2nd,
powwow.
we don't.
I don't have a
That's
problem.
prepping for the powwow, I think.
Yeah.
I don't,
You know what, you guys, I really think July 2nd is way too close to 4th of July.
Munising
Just
is-
because, I mean.
They're
for
big
real-
on 4th of
Yeah,
July
but
over
like,
there.
Well, it's the only thing we got. You know, it's the 4th of July. Everything else goes out the window.
I mean, we're gonna schedule a meeting.
Yeah.
and- Let me look at my calendar.
I would think.
I'm just saying that
Hey.
you're not gonna get a lot of people attending that meeting. Because it's 4th of July.
Yes.
That's it.
Vacation,
Marquette is,
family plans, celebration.
Yeah, look at, last year, she needs to go to the beach with her grandkids.
I'm
July.
not gonna be at most of your
No, I
meetings
know
either,
you're not.
so,
I'm just
yeah,
teasing
I'm
you.
not
July
worried about what you guys
9th.
schedule for me.
I remember
And
that
July
tearful
16th.
thing.
Wow,
last
we're
year.
pushing it.
so how about we do this?
How about the 7th and the 9th?
Oh,
I know
How about to the June 25th for the Munising? Because,
25th.
Somebody else. would-
June?
You had that for Kinross.
Yeah,
Did
that's
I?
Kinross, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
Why-
backtrack.
Why can't you, like, so just a thought,
Put 2 in 1 week just for that.
you all are gonna be in Marquette for June 5th, right?
Okay, where's,
So
Just do-
if you're in Marquette for June 5th, you're meeting already at 4 PM, you could stay the night and do Munising the next day, June 6th. That way you're covering 2 of them while you're on the west end.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, at Holiday Inn, right? Is that where we're supposed?
Missing, we would do the tribal center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he meant staying the night.
Oh, yeah.
Holiday Inn?
Yeah.
He's trying to
Well,
get
you
a
wouldn't,
free
Phil.
night,
You're
you
gonna be,
guys.
you live over there.
Yeah, you live
I'm
right
talking
close.
Yeah, but I gotta drive back and forth.
Yep.
Dogs will
All right.
Justify a room when
I'm
you're like a half hour away.
back and forth from Raver to here,
So the 6th, right?
Yeah. So Jackie and.
I'm not gonna be there.
Ish, that is an option.
It's my birthday.
We can get
I'm just
you.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Oh.
I'm kidding.
The
I only got
6th.
room for
Okay.
July
6th.
Do the count and then the
Yep.
thing.
Yeah,
So
that's
June
what we gotta
6th, because you're
remember.
June 5th in
Or-
Marquette.
yeah,
Oh, June, sorry,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
June
yeah.
5th, you're in Marquette at 4 PM
Okay,
for your
where-
meeting there.
Yep, sorry.
You could stay the night, the two of you, in a hotel. June 6th, do your Munising one and whatever time you pick for that.
Don't get next.
Okay.
Oh, I better not say that, Bonnie.
So you guys have to decide that.
Nope, that'll be fine for me.
Don't get next to Phil, he snores.
I do not.
Will we get a calendar sent to us?
Yes.
We can sort these things out.
yes.
So what time do we want to have it at Munising? What time?
I was trying to make notes.
I've
At
lost-
Munising?
I've lost
I got it.
track.
You guys
thought you
got
said
it
4
all
o'clock.
Except for the Munising one.
Munising
and if
at
Jackie doesn't
4.
mind, I will
4.
recap it for all of you, so
Yep.
I
I'm
know where I'm
confused.
making arrangements and when.
I got scratches and.
Thank you.
nothing Right.
All right.
I gotta go to the
June
bathroom.
6th, do you want to do Munising?
Yes.
Okay, and then we said 4?
Yeah.
But if you're staying the night, you're doing the Marquette one at 4, you
Yeah, we could do that one at 1.
Munising
Yeah, I
one
have to
at
go
1.
home and back,
Okay, Marquette is scheduled for when? Because,
June 5th.
100 miles.
June,
okay,
50
June
back.
6th is Munising.
That would be
200.
Munising, yeah.
Okay,
Right.
the Manistee powwow is on the 7th.
Yeah, we're getting.
Ah, then you
into
might actually have more members in your area, hey? That might want to come if they see that you guys are holding a meeting there.
It's possible.
we gotta-
I don't care, you guys just tell me the date and the time, that's all I need.
Again, as Ryan said, we don't have to have, I don't, not discourage anybody, but if you have other commitments and 3 or 2 of us can show up, that's fine too.
Yeah.
This is just to get the, we'll record it, take notes.
Wow, that's complicated. That's worse than the election. 4 days.
Yeah, the election has more set timeline.
Yeah.
This is good though, 'cause now we can get the ball rolling.
Did I miss you guys finalizing Munising? I'm
1
sorry.
1 PM
1 PM on the 6th of June,
on 6th
Uh-oh.
on June.
okay?
That's 1 PM now, okay.
Now that you guys picked times, dates, locations, Jackie, do you want me to run through so we're
Yep.
all on the same page? And I know what I'm trying to book for you.
please, that would be awesome.
Okay, for Unit 1, we tentatively have June 18th, start time of 1 PM, and that is here in the Whitefish Point Room because that's your meeting date anyways. So we're moving your meeting and community input session will start at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Unit 1, Kinross, I have June 25th, 6 PM. This one would be a no Zoom option. We're going to try to get the community center in Kinross. Unit 2, I have Hessel for July 21st, 1 PM. That will be at the Tribal Center. We already know we have network connection there, so Zoom is absolutely option. Then Newberry in Unit 2, I have July 16th, starting at 1 at the Community Center. You will have no Zoom option there. Unit 3, St. Ignace, July 9th, 4 PM at the Shores Casino. There is Zoom option there. We would just need to coordinate the additional equipment needed. And we can do that with the casino. Unit 4, Manistee. I have July 30th, 1 PM at the Community Center. And you can do Zoom there. Unit 4, Escanaba, June 11th at 2 PM. You will most likely not have Zoom option there. Unit 5, Munising, I've got June 6th, 1 PM, and that will be at the Tribal Center. There is Zoom capability there.
Wait. Munising's date again?
June 6th, 1 PM.
Boy, that got changed a couple
And then the final one for Unit 5 is Marquette, June 5th, 4 PM at the Holiday Inn Express. And we're going to do that one in conjunction with the elder meeting, and that one also will be no Zoom access. I don't want you guys to try to, I mean, you can attempt it, but if you don't have a secure connection and you try to do Zoom, members will get upset that, oh, we were supposed to do Zoom, but couldn't in the end because of technology. So when we advertise these, after we get confirmation, the commission looks at it, approves it, that will have to be done via email to meet the May 2nd deadline for the newspaper. So I will get working on these if the commission is in agreement with all of that. And probably not by the end of this week, but early next week, I will get you an email to confirm locations are available. And then you guys can just do a quick vote that can be reaffirmed at the next meeting, but do a quick vote via email so that we can lock everything in and advertise to our members.
And Lana, can I ask that if we have to shuffle like dates, like if we could, like June 9th is not available, can we do like a day after, a day before, somewhere in that week, just kind of keep that weekly schedule?
You mean when I call theirs?
Yes.
If the date you selected is not available, the day before or the day after, I will verify if it's available, run that by you guys.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Poor guys are
That way we don't have to go back and forth 15 times.
We're just going to be super positive, and you guys are going to have the schedule set, everything's available.
Yeah, I'm practical.
So that is, and I can make a copy of this for you too before we leave here today, because I got it all.
I know Munising, boy,
That's a lot of
they rent out theirs quite a bit for the schools and everything else.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's part of what Mike
Yeah.
Ritchie was talking about yesterday. The board office has just a little bit of both.
Yeah.
So I will make copies
All right.
for you guys. So you
Yeah,
can take with you.
So we got our 9 meetings scheduled.
Okay.
I think we're good.
that's a big,
But I do like the fact that you said to do that because we sat here and talked about it, like,
We needed to do it while we were.
and if we have to move, I mean, if something happens, issues, but again,
it's done.
it's
I
done.
think this is the first time this has ever been done too, as far as with the Zoom and having the information out there so they can look at it.
Well, we
So-
did a move around like this with Constitution Committee. We moved to each unit. I mean, we went to every single.
Yeah, but I mean the election commission.
Yeah.
I don't think they ever did it.
No. Well, they weren't charged with,
Yep.
So,
They had how many members?
Do we keep
like-
are we gonna get paid mileage for going to these?
yes.
Should we even keep it or?
Yeah, you'd be able to do the mileage.
Okay, all right.
We have a low budget here, guys.
Well, that's what I'm wondering what the budget is. I don't wanna go over it.
Have a budget, I don't think.
Gotta have a budget.
We have the.
all right, yeah, we do have a budget. There's a budget to do it. Lana even said last night she had made a budget to go
Same
out
year-
and do this.
same as last
So
year.
we're good with that. So do we want to go into closed session? Because we have these guys sitting here, been waiting.
Well, I think they're here for the demonstration though, right?
Oh, okay. Wait a minute, we need to vote to approve this.
We can do,
We can't approve it yet.
I mean, just to get the ball all rolling so Lana can
She's
just
got
get
it.
the ball rolling. We're ready to.
I would make a motion just to tentatively set this, and then we can
Okay.
reconfirm it through a phone
Okay,
vote.
wait, I gotta.
Just tentatively set up. Oh,
Thank you.
do tentatively set up membership input sessions.
Okay, I make a motion to tentatively use this unless it changes the times.
This is their tentative
Yes.
scheduling date.
Or membership
We all approve
input
it,
sessions.
or I motion to approve it.
Okay, I
Tentative
second.
schedule.
All in favor?
There you go. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Everyone vote. Everyone voted
Can we take a
unanimously.
5-10 minute break?
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, yeah, you guys, if you want to take a break, that's fine with
Okay,
me.
Ryan.
I was gonna say, because we can, before we go in the close, because we have a little bit of time before a clear ballot, we can talk with RIT and we can try and figure out what kind of questions that they need clarifying for when we go into the closed session with clear ballot. So if you guys take a break, that's fine, but then maybe, since IT, like you said, Jackie's been sitting there, we can get them, we can start talking in open session right now with all of us here about like what our needs are and what kind of things that IT is looking for, and then we'll be able to ask directly those questions to Clear Ballot, which of course is proprietary, so we have to close it. Then, if that sounds good.
We're putting
Okay, we
this
take-
in the newspaper.
So we're good to take a break? Jackie, what time you want us back?
5 minutes?
Yeah, that's fine.
10 minutes.
12:33?
12:35, you get 13 minutes. call back to order. And,
Are you on?
yeah, I'm on. Okay, so are we going back, are we gonna go into closed session?
I think you could
Or-
start and open to
Okay.
have a discussion with IT right now, just about, because we'll be talking about what our needs are and what our current setup is, so that's not really proprietary. But then once Clear Ballot gets on the call, we'll go into close, but we can be open now.
All right, so we have some gentlemen here from
No.
IT that you're here to discuss with us about Clear Ballot and what the needs are, or?
I was gonna say, I'm not entirely sure what we needed to be here for. I know we were asked to be here, but I didn't really get any specifics of what we needed to talk about.
So this was scheduled it was supposed to happen back in February. But this cyber breach paused all that. And we wanted you here to help the commission figure out what kind of questions they might need to ask Clear Ballot. You and Rob at the time did the initial research into Clear Ballot. So if you want to just give like a summary of why you would recommend potentially licensing this software or this hardware and software, and why in your research you guys pinpointed them as a worthwhile pursuit for the commission to look at.
Okay. Well, the main thing is that when this commission first started, I believe, we initially had the election run by that third-party company, and this software is the same software that they used. I was going to say, it looks like it did everything that we needed to. And it actually did it inside of one software. The way our solution works right now is that we actually have the software that gathers the information, then we have a separate one that does the tabulation.
Now, was this the special election, or was this the general election?
It was the 2023 referendum elections. Votegrity was the election firm that came in and they helped, at the time, the Emergency Election Committee run the 2023 referendum elections. There was two of them, one in September, one in November. And so Votegrity uses this, it's called Clear Ballot is the company. They have a whole suite of options, and they use that software. It's a federally certified election software. It's used by, I want to say like 23 or more states, as well as like local and county elections. I believe if we partnered with them and used their software, we'd be the first tribe that would use it. But I also, like Fred, I saw that software in action, and it was more user-friendly. It was quicker than our current software. It did everything we needed to do, and it did it faster, better, and cleaner than our aging stuff is right now.
I was going to say, I believe they also have some form of solution available that makes it a lot easier to review the ballot scans after the whole process has been done, or while you're doing it. That was always kind of a challenge with our existing software.
Hey, Fred,
Yep.
with the new software, do we need new equipment?
Oh, that's the other thing. Our existing equipment is all coming off of warranty. So if anything happens to it, we have to buy all new equipment. So our recommendation generally, whenever the equipment comes off warranty, is that you buy new stuff anyways.
Got another question for you.
What's up?
We're trying to implement going online for people that can't come, to do the ballots. Is this going to incorporate that? To be able to go online to do these
All
things?
of our ballots are mail-in right now.
Yes.
I can answer that, Fred.
Okay.
So Clear Ballot doesn't have a specific, well, we can double check with them, but my understanding is they don't have a specific software or suite of software that is for online voting, for e-voting. But Votegrity, that company that we used for the referendum, they have their own like online way of voting that then gets integrated into the clear ballot tabulation. So we could work with IT if that's the direction we end up going as a tribe and that gets approved by the board, to have our own front end of how we're going to do our online voting. Maybe someday it's that membership service or that membership portal, if that ever gets up and running, where we can log in to a membership side of our website. I don't know if that's still in the works or if that would happen, but that would be one option to do it. And then we would probably have to build ourselves or find a company to help us build it, but then we could integrate it right into our tabulation software, whether it's the current one we're using or Clear Ballots or another solution down the line. But Clear Ballot itself does not offer an online voting option. We'd have to build that one ourselves.
Right, but one thing that they do offer is they do offer on-site tabulation, like remote tabulation stuff. So you basically do the tabulation off-site like they do now for like federal elections. That's what I say, and then you basically, I think you pull a secure hard drive that gets like security taped and everything, and then you bring it back to the main system, and then that will get tabulated into the main election. So we'd be able to set up, potentially, we could set up like polling stations in like the different, our different units.
They can do that with that software they're telling us about, or do we have to incorporate another software with it?
No, it's this software. I was going to say they sell the software and the hardware to do it.
So,
Step in the right direction.
yeah, so,
but
but,
it's Band-Aid,
so,
it's not a,
No, that's what we wanted all along anyways, to put places like at the different centers that they can vote at, all right? Or even do it online, if we have a few different ways of doing that, it'd benefit us. Well, this is one of them that will benefit us, if they can put them at different units. This way, people could go there to vote instead of, having a ballot.
then we have to think about security risk.
Oh, yeah.
so we would have to purchase new equipment.
Yes.
And,
Well, my understanding is that the Clear Ballot software can run on our existing equipment. That's what they told us.
yeah,
But again, the equipment is all coming off of warranty. Some of it already is. So our recommendation from IT would be that we purchase new equipment anyways.
would you, like, even if we weren't going to do Clear Ballot, would you be purchasing new equipment?
We would recommend it, yes.
How long is the warranty on those?
The servers that we had a 60-month warranty. They've been in place for 5 years?
So,
Every 5 years, we'd have to get new equipment.
It might be possible to get a different warranty length. I'm not sure on that. I think part of the reason why these ones had a 60-year warranty specifically is because they were purchased as refurbished. Because they were purchased during the whole COVID incident where basically it was impossible to purchase any hardware.
Sure. Okay.
so what would this be appropriate to ask what a price would be?
I don't know if
Estimated price?
Yeah, guesstimate.
if you don't know, you don't know. That's okay.
Well, how much did the old stuff cost us?
Yeah.
Oh, we actually do have that quote. I believe Fred can pull it up. But
Okay.
that changes per vendor, especially
Yeah.
if we're going through Clear Ballot and they have all the hardware enclosed. It may not be the exact same kind of idea that we have, like, because currently it's servers and a switch and whole rack. Generally, I could show you a quote for a server, but that doesn't mean that's what they're going to offer us.
Yeah.
What platform does that run on?
I'm sorry, currently?
No, the new one that you're proposing?
Luann, we'll get into the details when clear ballots here. You're talking about, yeah, they'll be able to explain that more once they're in that session. I don't know if you guys have all the answers to that anyway, so save that question for a few minutes when we get clear ballot on.
The total amount for the previous equipment when it was purchased was $14,250.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah, that was
But that was
previous.
refurbished, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was refurbished during COVID? Like exactly when was that quote done?
Let's take a look at the actual date when we received this. You have the actual email record?
Fred, do you kind of remember? Was it early COVID or?
Early COVID was 20. So.
January 31st, 2020.
Okay. So, so would it take, would it take a lot for you guys to be able to integrate this into our system? And, I mean, so that we could use this hardware?
I was going to say, if we get the new hardware and everything, it should just all work. I was going to say, because their hardware and software would replace everything that we have.
I would start thinking that 14,000 is going to be quite a bit more probably now
Yes.
in 2025, and with clear ballots, software licensing fees and whatever the hardware like that, it's going to be, I don't know what it is, but that's something we can hopefully talk with them today, or at least get a quote after their presentation to the commission. But it's going to be substantially more if I had to guess. But it's also going to set the tribe up, if we do clear ballot or something similar, it's going to help kind of future-proof our elections to be more easily modernized in the decades to come. So.
I will also note that price was just for the hardware. That does not include the software.
And the licensing.
Right, the software licensing, because I know the software we use for the scanning, that one is, I want to say it's a couple $1,000s a year for maintenance on it.
Fred, you guys are sticking around for a clear ballot, at least one of you, right?
I can, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I wasn't, didn't say whether we were going to stick around for it or not, but yeah, I could stay.
Thank you.
Yeah, because, that would be great if you stay, because you would know more than we know of some of the questions to ask.
Yep.
And, just how much work is this going to eliminate?
There's a lot on their end.
Yeah.
They have to test everything. And, I mean,
I mean, we're
for
still
the-
going to have to like test it and everything. It's just that it's not going to be a cobbled together system anymore.
are you gonna have to go for training and?
I'm not sure.
I hope so.
So compared to
Well, they
when
might
you
do
did
on-site.
those special elections and when we did the general election, what was the difference?
Well, difference for what specifically? For actually running it, or?
In running it, yes, in running it, and security?
For the actual like running and security process, there really wasn't much difference on our side. Most of that was for the list of people it was being sent to, which would not be covered by this. So like I say, that's a completely separate process. The actual count is almost identical every time we do an election.
So did it make it easier, or doing the count, or?
Oh, are you talking about when Clear Ballot came in? I mean, when the company came in?
Yeah.
We didn't have to run our software, basically, but we had the separate company came in and ran the whole thing. I was going to say, if we go Clear Ballot, we would still be the ones running the hardware and software.
Okay. Would we still then Would we still be inserting ballots
Yes.
manually to be
Yes.
counted like that? Okay.
Yeah, the process for any mail-in ballots would be the same as our current process. It'd just be a faster, newer hardware and software. And then
Yeah,
if we.
that's what I'm trying, yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. So it's a lot faster?
It should be, yes.
You are, you said you can get tabulating places for the units. Are we going to look into that, trying to get it, or you think that's going to be
That
in
would
the
be a
future?
question for you guys. I was going to say, we pretty much just support the software and hardware. You guys determine what parts of it you need.
So you guys do that?
Nope, that's a commission, that's a policy decision. That's a
Yeah.
recommendation from the commission to the board of directors. If you want to do something besides just the mail-in ballots, if you want to open up polling places in all 5 units or our 7-county service area, that's something that we'll have to workshop at this level with the commission, and then that's a recommendation to the board. You can talk to Clear Ballot, because they do have on-site tabulation software, like Fred said, like they have.
The hardware.
The hardware, I mean, and the software that you can go and have a polling station, just like the state, federal elections, county elections,
Yeah.
that still do it that way. And you punch your ballot, it's electronic ballot, right? And then it automatically goes to their tabulation software. So that is something that they can do, and we can ask them more in detail about that. And if the commission wants to continue to pursue it, you can ask them for quotes for multiple scenarios, right? All in, we want to do mail-in, and we want to do poll voting. How much is that going to cost us? And they can give us a quote. Right now, we're sticking with mail-in ballot. What's the quote for that? And you get multiple quotes, so then you can decide at this level what you want to recommend to the board, and you'll have all the numbers to be able to present to the board if that's what your recommendation is.
Polling for what, 9 units or nine places, right?
Yeah, at least 5. You'd have to have at least one in each unit. That's a discussion.
Have to be manned and everything else.
Having in-person voting like that is yeah, it's a different manpower type thing. You got to have people who are watching each polling station. It's something that is doable, but we have to really put the structure in place. And if that's the recommendation, make sure you pitch it to the board in a way that maybe gets them on board. Ultimately, it's a board decision. We can only recommend at this level to change the mail-in only, but we'd have to have all the structure in place. So when we make that pitch, if we make it to the board, like here's all the places we can do for polling stations and the setup and et cetera.
Okay. And with the, you said they have other software that we can get for online voting?
Say that again, Phil, sorry.
You said there was other, we can incorporate other,
So if we do online voting, there are, like Votegrity, just for one instance, I'm sure there's others out there, but they already have a way that they do online voting. No tribes are using it right now, I don't think, but like, they use it for unions and different.
but will that go into this?
We'll have to build it ourselves, but it can integrate right into this software. But Clear Ballot doesn't have their own online voting. If we do that, we have to create the front end of that, whatever that looks like for people to log in and vote online. We'd have to either find another company that can do it for us, or we'd have to just build it ourselves. And then I've already talked to Matt Dwyer at Clear Ballot. He said if we build that front end of getting it online voting, they can work with us to integrate it right into the tabulation. So it'd be just like if I was at a polling station and I voted for Phil, but I did it online, and from my smartphone, it would just go right into the tabulation software.
So that's something we should bring up with the board too then, with all this stuff, right?
Yeah, if that's one of the recommendations, then we bring it up to the board.
Okay.
Matt's in
Alrighty.
the room now.
Oh.
So do you want me to let him in?
I would think.
Yeah, you can let him in.
Online voting would Be a really hard sell.
I think so too.
Oh, yeah, but if we bring it up, they say no, okay.
As soon as we go into close.
You
we
know,
gotta put
if
them-
they say yes, great. Yeah, it's gonna take a while, but to get the money up front for all of it,
and carrying them.
that's what I hope we could do.
Is he in?
He is in.
Hey, Matt, this is, I see you just joined the Zoom. This is Ryan Mills. I'm the election attorney for the Election Commission. Welcome to our meeting. Thank you for joining us.
How are you? Thank you so much for having us. Appreciate the time.
So we were talking with the RIT team. They're here in the room too that help run our elections. And I'll turn it over to Chairwoman Minton here soon, and she'll get us into closed session, and then we can talk details and go through your presentation.
That sounds great. We were just waiting for one more on our end. Ira should be here in about 15 seconds, hopefully, and then we'll be good to go.
Awesome.
Letting
Thanks.
Ira in right now.
Hey.
Fantastic.
Well, miigwech, gentlemen, thanks for attending and schooling us. You're gonna stay?
I am going to stay. I don't know if, I was going to say, I don't know, do we need,
Everyone's welcome to stay. I mean, if you don't have anything else pressing, I would like, especially if this is potentially who's going to be helping on the IT end of our elections, I would like you guys to stay to hear the pitch too. But if you need to leave for other duty, then I understand that. So. Okay.
Yeah, I think that it would
Unfortunately, I
be,
drove.
yeah, it would be great if you'd stay.
okay, looks like we're all going to be here.
Okay, miigwech. All right, well, let's move into closed session.
I just have one person I gotta put in the waiting room. And then, oh, no, I gotta put video productions in the waiting room too, and they gotta pause their recording.
back into open session. So, we have some business left.
For me to bring up the, matter of fact, I don't even have to motion it, do I?
I'm sorry, I can't remember how Phil worded. I would just say we're on number
Be number 9.
9.
I have his,
The agenda addition on whether sitting commission members can or will accept cultural enhancement funds. That's your agenda item, and then,
Phil, you made the motion?
no, now someone can make a motion, and if no one does, then it just dies for lack of support.
All right.
I read it into the record, so if no one motions, then it just dies, Jackie.
All right, so that motion will die because nobody, okay,
Yep.
nobody seconded. Okay, so what I would like to say is that, miigwech for all of your support. I hope that this election commission is successful in the changes and in future elections. And at this time, I am going to be resigning from the election commission. And I will send my official letter of resignation to Ryan and the board of directors. I just don't feel that at this time, I feel that by me being on this commission, it causes more work and more issues to be brought up for this election commission that are generated from outside sources that it doesn't need to be happening. And I would like this election commission to be able to concentrate on the work that they have to do. So miigwech, and I appreciate all of the support from everybody.
But I would just like to thank Jackie for her service, and I'm sorry to see you go.
I second that.
Yes,
I agree.
thank you.
Miigwech, Jackie.
No, miigwech. So we need a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We're adjourned. Miigwech, everyone.
Okay, it's